This is the Great Depression. You woke up rich in the morning and went to bed poor at night. No war, no warning, just a terrifying collapse. It wiped out $200 billion and plunged America into a decade full of hunger and dust. So what happened? Let's rewind to the fun before the collapse. Imagine waking up in 1922. The war was over. Mustaches were ridiculous. The economy was thriving. Factories no longer produced tanks. They were making toasters, vacuum cleaners, and refrigerators. New York's skyline soared as if on steroids. Jazz music was the Wi-Fi of the 1920s, loud everywhere, and no one fully understood how it worked. The economy was shining. Everyone genuinely believed that the good times would last forever. Even economists said, "Trust us, this decade is definitely going to be roaring." Thanks to Henry Ford's moving assembly line innovation, Model T production, which used to take 12 hours, now took 90 minutes. Cars flooded the streets. Auto plants exploded with demand. Oil, steel, rubber. Every industry was pulled along by this growth. The American economy wasn't just growing, it was revving. While cities thrived with electricity and luxury, Americans fell in love with gadgets like radios. By 1929, 10 million homes had radios, meaning 10 million homes now listen to both Al Jolson and 30 different commercials in glorious AM fuzz. But while cities were partying, rural America struggled even to get on the dance floor. Farmers who had once been wealthy due to wartime demand were now facing falling prices. They borrowed to modernize, but the new tractors didn't save them. They just helped them go bankrupt slightly faster. Urban Americans discovered their new favorite hobby, buying more than they could afford. Want a radio? Buy it on credit. A car? Buy it on credit. Shares in a company making hats for dogs? Definitely buy it on credit. Banks were thrilled by this innovation, offering credit to anyone. Wall Street became like an amusement park. With margin loans, you could buy $100 worth of stock with just $10 down. The remaining $90, who cares? The future was bright. Stocks only went up, right? Between 1924 and 1929, the Dow Jones quadrupled. Stock prices became independent of gravity. Profits? Who cares? What mattered were the vibes. Companies got creative. They set up holding companies that produced nothing, just layers of hype. A few people tried to sound the alarm. Economist Roger Babson warned in 1929, "A collapse is coming." Wall Street ignored him and bought even more stock. But the real danger was hidden. Rural debt rose. Consumer debt ballooned. Economies surged ahead, but no one checked if the floor could hold. And then came October 29th, 1929. America woke up rich and went to bed poor. It went down in history as Black Tuesday. The stock market plunged as if diving 10 meters. The Dow fell. Ticker screens spat out red numbers. Phones never stopped ringing. People fainted. Some suffered heart attacks, recovered, checked their portfolios, and suffered again. $14 billion vanished. Over $200 billion in today's value. Homes, savings, college funds, dreams, all gone. The stock market collapse triggered a chain reaction. First came margin calls. People had bought stocks on borrowed money. The market tanked, and brokers demanded the rest immediately. Many couldn't pay. Those rich on Monday were bankrupt by Thursday. Banks collapsed. People ran to withdraw their money. Families lost everything. The effects went beyond the US. Europe, already fragile, plunged further. And yet, denial persisted. Newspapers ran sunny headlines. Politicians claimed the worst was over. Bankers smiled nervously, saying, "No problem." Meanwhile, millions sat at empty dinner tables, wondering. The collapse was not the bottom, it was just the beginning. By 1931, music was gone, lights were out, the party was over. Factories stopped, unemployment soared to 25%. Detroit's auto plants closed one by one. Production fell by 75%. Cities sagged under the weight of need. Breadlines snaked through downtowns. Mothers queued at dawn for a bowl of thin soup. Children were too young to understand why they were hungry. Students fainted in class from hunger. America was truly starving. Banks had failed. Savings vanished. Dignity eroded. Suicide rates surged. Marriage and birth rates fell. In the Great Plains, soil was barren. Winds kicked up dust. Families fled west in search of hope. President Hoover launched aid programs, but it wasn't enough. Shanty towns called Hoovervilles appeared. Hunger, dust, and suffering became his legacy. In the summer of 1932, World War I veterans marched to Washington demanding their promised bonuses. They were refused. The army was sent, tear gas deployed, camps burned. America was not just poor, it was broken. Yet people did not give up. They migrated, lined up, protected their families, survived. They trusted no one, but had no other choice. In March 1933, Franklin D. Roosevelt spoke at his inauguration. "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." It was the first deep breath the country had taken in years. He acted immediately. Young men started working. Roads, bridges, schools were built. Electricity returned. Hope was rebuilt. SEC and FDIC were established. Social Security began. You matter. We will remember you. You will not have to work until collapse. Arts were also supported. Photographers and writers captured the nation's spirit. Migrant Mother became an iconic image. People went to cinemas and watched The Wizard of Oz. In a colorful world, even amid depression, people still dared to dream. Cities buzzed again. Factories resumed work. But this time, it wasn't just consumer goods. It was production to rebuild the country. The Great Depression didn't end with a celebration. It ended with work, tired hands, aching backs, legislation, hope, and a bit of jazz. America rose again, but on the horizon, a darker, louder global storm was coming, and the whole world would feel it.